right, welcome to all you ore-loving Palworldians. Today we're going to be going over one of the best ore mining bases I've found. I'm going to also be giving you guys some positives and some negatives about it, why it's such a good base, why it's not also a good base, and what I would recommend to do. So up over here, you're going to see this little mining icon between Fort Ruins and the Rain Syndicate Tower. That's where we're going to be heading. I'm sure some of you have discovered this spot already. The reason I really enjoy this spot the most is because it seems like it's very hard to get raided, almost impossible. So we're going to fly to the right of this bridge here, right over this. I think I should be able to make it. And for anybody who hasn't discovered Gale Claws yet, they are wonderful uses of this to be able to get places a little bit faster. All right, so here we are. Here's all the ore here. So we could come over here and mine this ourselves, but that's just going to get tedious. So let's set up a PAL box, and we're going to get to mining this, building an automated mining base. So you guys might, I'll see if I can showcase you guys this. So there, if you check this, sometimes you can actually see, oops, cool, can't see shit. All right, you can actually see the blue circle in the top left of my screen over there, and what we want to do is make sure it's around. So what I'd recommend is go to the left of this tree, and then if you see how the box kind of goes that way, I would turn the box around this way so it doesn't block that ore spot. And we're going to put it like kind of like right around here on these rocks, probably like right there. That should be good. Oh, that's kind of in the ground. That was interesting. Destroy. I really don't want it in the ground too far. I want to make it easy to be able to teleport back and forth. Of course, doing this video now I can't get it to go. Okay, we'll just do it right here. This should be fine. I'm not looking for perfection. This is you know, just a showcase for you guys. But as far as this goes, we really only need to get the PAL box in the right location, and we're pretty good. Now, what's going to happen is when this gets raided, they're going to get usually stuck down here, kind of right where that PAL is. So they usually get stuck in this corner right down here, and across the way over here down towards that other teleporter. So this is very important. I have seen some people say that they've had PALs cross this bridge, so I don't know if they're working on the pathing. But regardless, if they did, and this is all you have to defend, that's lining them up in a nice, easy location to take out. So I still think this is a very good area to have a base in. But without further ado, let's go over this. So what we're gonna want 3 main PALs in this base, maybe a few others too, but what I would recommend is a Digtoise. Either get a Digtoise. Of course, I can't find it now, so I'll just go to my PAL deck here. So Digtoise, they are going to be up over here in the desert area, and the nice thing about that is the Mud, who also has 2 mining, because we're gonna need something with 2 mining. Can't be anything less. But the Mud is also in that area. And let's not forget about Tombat, which is not active during the day. So Tombat's only going to be active at night. But Tombat also has 2 mining. So any of these are really good to use. So I'll take out, replace a kitty. And let's see. I know I have one of these Muds in here. It's hiding somewhere. There it is. All right, we'll replace the other kitty. All right. So now, as far as mining goes, is we're going to need a few things. We're going to need a PAL to mine. We're going to need a PAL to gather. And we're also going to need to smelt this. Now, the reason I would recommend to smelt this is smelting it is going to be a lot lighter than trying to carry all this. So if you try to carry all these, you are going to be like, oh, this is absolutely awful. So what we want to do is place a chest as close to this teleporter as we can. Now, sometimes it won't be very friendly where you won't be able to grab this stuff out and teleport at the same time. But in this case, let's do a little experiment here. So we'll put in this fiber. We'll pretend I can't move. And look at that. So I can easily just grab any bars out of here, teleport right back to my base. No problem. So that's ideally how we want to set this base up, because that's going to save us time. If you're just going to turn this into your main base, it's probably not going to matter. Now, the downsides of this base. So we talked about the positives. let's talk about the negatives. The downsides to this base is pals can get stuck very easily. Of course, it's becoming nighttime, so this is a perfect time to do the video, Joe. But anyways, this downhill slope right here, they can get stuck on. Over here, they also like to go around this corner. They like to get stuck around here. I've had some go across the bridge. I've had some run off into the distance where they just never come back again, and I don't know where they've gone. I don't blame them for running away from me. I would run away from me. So that is a kind of a big downfall of this base. But typically, the way I've solved it is by putting ramps. So I'll take like a wooden foundation, for example, either put it below or up above, and then just maybe like add like a staircase like this. And then usually they'll be able to figure their way back up. It's not 100% perfect, but it works. Now, the other thing is it going to be really tricky to build a base around here. If you're trying to build up or vertically, pals don't really like that. They kind of will struggle with it in pathing, so it doesn't always work out. But I still think this is one of the best bases. Now, to do this, now we ideally want to get some pals going. So what we're going to want to do is the other pals I would highly recommend for this base, that of course I can't find in my box now. Why would I organize something before a video to make it easier? That sounds dumb. So why don't I just make it more confusing for everybody involved? Actually, I think... Oh, you know what? I may have only caught one of these, but Van Worms are actually one of my favorite pals to have in this base. I will show you where they're located here. So if we go to the pal deck and Van Worm, pull up their habitat. As you can see, they're all around here. So I would highly recommend, I think this is near one of the water bosses. Yeah, they're right past the Azure Road, past the ravine entrance. I would highly recommend catching them. And the reason is because they have 3 transporting, but also kindling. Because what we're going to want to do here in this base is we're not going to only want to mine, we're going to want to smelt. So to show you guys this, I'll just throw out my dig toys here for now. So you can throw out a Pokemon and they will automatically mine. So that is absolutely great. Now, I don't want to do that. I want to be lazy. I love being lazy. So we're just going to take them and we're just going to start taking these dig toys out. We're just going to slap a ton of them out of here. The other thing is we'll take a Tombat. Tombats are actually pretty good in regards because they do have transport in level 2, they have mining level 2, and they have gathering. Now, ideally with this base, we don't just want to set it up as a mining base and leave it. We're going to need beds, we're going to need, care, we're going to need food. So I'm going to set this up as we talk here a little bit, and just make sure they kind of have everything they need, which I did not bring resources because I am just super prepared for this. Obviously, I am a haphazardly person when it comes to setting things up, but let's see if we can just do this real fast. So what I would recommend is start off with foundations over off to the side. You are not going to want to try to build on this land around here. It is not very flat. It is not very agreeable. You will run into problems. Absolutely 100% guaranteed. There's no ifs, ands, or doubts about it. Now, pathing can get really messed up in this area. So what I would usually recommend is if you can get stairs, try to do them about 2 to 3 wide, if not more. This sometimes allows the pals to take multiple paths. If you do one and you have a really big pal, they just tend to get stuck. And a lot of the late game, you're gonna get like luckies, you're gonna get boss pals. They're gonna be on the larger side. They will get their pathing messed up, and they will get stuck. So we're gonna want to at least get a bunch of beds going. Of course, once again, I'm out of resources, but that is not a big deal for this purpose. So, but that's what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up beds. You're going to want to next set up some food. So I'm going to pause the video here, get some things set up, and I will be right back.
2 hours later.
All right, so we finally have a raid during the day happening, so I can show you what ends up happening to these raids. Give it a second here. They're going to take a minute to get on over, but basically what's going to happen is they spawn over, actually kind of where that one is over there. They spawn over there. They're going to run that path all the way around. Oh, they're already getting kind of stuck over here. And yep, they're all stuck over here. So now they'll usually make it where this one's heading. So they usually make it over here, oh, right where that Incineram is. And they'll just stand there, and they're not going to do anything. And usually there's a lot more of them. They'll line up, and you can just kind of come over here, nuke them if you want, kill them, catch them, whatever you want to do. That's one reason I really enjoy the location of this base. Is it is basically unraidable. They will not be able to get up there. So just see if I can show you guys though. Oh, never mind. So this one's gonna run away, and they're all running away, and the raid's gonna end. So they just, yeah, this is like the perfect spot where they just cannot make it up here.
5 hours later.
Okay, so we're back, and to showcase this for you, I put more beds over here. I got some berry farms here. I had to put these feeding boxes next to them because they were just glitching out. They refused to collect them. Oh, actually, and then make sure to have a pot. You can use a fire, but the pals tend to run over it and then just run around on fire. So I prefer having the pot on there. And as you can see, the Van Worm also does the cooking, which is really convenient. So what I would recommend, I upgraded this to a metal chest because you're gonna have probably a lot in here unless you want to spread it out. I just try to just jam everything in there. And then you're gonna want ideally these furnaces right next to it. You're not really gonna want to travel far. You're gonna want to have to be able to just grab it, turn around, throw it in if you can. It's not always ideal because sometimes it just won't go in there. This is a ranch. It is in the stone. I don't know if that's going to help me. The main reason I actually made the ranch is... I'll just throw another cooking pot here, actually. So the main reason I made this ranch is actually for later. What I like to do is get a wheat farm going, and I think it's milk or honey, one of those. I can't remember. We'll find out here in 1 second. But basically, you're going to want to make pancakes, and what the pancakes do is it helps their sanity. So, depending on how you're playing, if you if you have certain server settings, it might be easier, it might be harder, but you're really going to want to keep their sanity from increasing. Sorry, it is flour and milk. So, ideally, you want to take the wheat, turn it into flour, and then have a cow or two here. Usually, you just need one with the milk. And that way they collect that, and you can basically store that all up, make some pancakes, and have that as their food. I have some wood and some stone over here. You do not necessarily need these. I just had these over here because I wanted to get some resources, and I didn't want to have to travel very far. And then, of course, we have over here, I'm going to show you guys some tricks, is you want to put a box kind of near these ores. And you don't have to do it for all of them. This one's just kind of a central one. But the reason for that is when they go to collect the ores, you don't want them having to ping back and forth a lot. And you don't need the ores in this chest to smelt. As long as it's within the area of the base, you'll be able to smelt it. So now let's get to the pals. So if you're not at this point, I'll cover it after. But you're going to want to catch some pals here. So you're going to want these dig toises. These are a great choice. You're going to want some Van Worms. They are also, in my opinion, a good choice. And if you want, you can grab a Doomud or two. They're not bad. They also do the gathering and they do the watering. So we'll add a Doomud in here. I already have 2 Pangolins, but we'll add a Doomud in there to mix it up. We'll do 3 Van Worms. Actually, you know what? Let's just do 4. Because they're not only going to gather, they're going to smelt and cook food for me as well. You can do a Flambell if you want. There's nothing wrong with using them as well. They're just not going to probably gather as fast, and they're going to basically kind of be around the same as the other ones. Now, to steal the show, we're going to do the dig toises. This is where things get really fun. So we're going to drag all these out here. Oops. Actually, I forgot I can just right click. So now, with these dig toises, oh, okay, that one's off to the races. This is basically what's going to happen. They're just going to sit there and spin. Oh, those 2 are going to the stone over there. So that's something you can remove this stone if that's a problem. I'm just going to let them store up some stone for now. Just that way, I'm going to probably end up building some more stuff here, and I want some stone and wood to be able to do that. So I'm just going to leave them for now. But as you can see right here, they're gathering, and they're throwing them right in the chest. So you can just basically hit smelt. One of these guys should be. Oh, there you are. That one's technically mine, but that works too. Is if you do have a pal on your own. Oh, never mind. That one isn't mine. You can just throw them out and have them do this too. If you want to speed this up, I would recommend taking out your own dig toys. And if you have the headband or the item for it, as you can see, it's going to do a lot more damage. It's not going to be like those ones over there where they're just doing 1 damage. This one's doing significantly faster job. Now, the active skill on this is Drill Crusher. So if you activate that, it's going to increase the damage by a lot more. And they're just going to blast through this mine so fast. So if you want to really speed this up, you can do it manually. Otherwise, you can just come to the base and just AFK. What I would recommend is setting up a bed somewhere. I did not do that yet. You do have to have a roof over your house to do that. And actually, as you can see here, I made like a little ramp and then a ramp over here because sometimes, as I said, they get stuck. I had one stuck earlier. So we'll just do a... Actually, I don't even think I need that much. I think we can just do that and then a roof. And of course, I don't have a single wool, but that's fine. So basically what you do is just slap a bed there and you can just sleep in here while they're going nuts. And as you can tell, oops, I'll pull him over here. As you can tell, the dig toys over here are still going. That one's still working on that one. By the time mine actually, like, this personal one can mine so much faster than the other one. So if you're strapped for time, just use that. But otherwise, yeah, you can just AFK at this base. They'll just keep mining, keep going. This is already smelted, so now... Oh, look at that. So already up to 170. Oops, smack the crap out of that thing. And then as I pull these, they're just going to come over here, fire breathe into those, keep smelting, and those will keep mining. Now, it's going to take 24 in-game hours for these to respawn, so it's going to take a little while. It's not going to be instant. Now, this is where things get nice, is the location I talked about in my other video. You can just fast travel right over to here, Desolate Church, and there's a mine right behind there, so you can always go over there. If you really want to be crazy, you could just make a base over here, make a base over here, and have double mining. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, but over there, I don't know how. I'm sure you can get raided over there. It's pretty flat and pretty open. Over here, I have never been attacked by an enemy. I've AFK'd for like multiple like in-game days. Never had a problem. So this is a really safe spot. Where's my dig toys? Oh, he's over here. So you can see that one's not even done, and my dig toys is already helping it. So they will take a lot longer to mine. It also doesn't help that I have some of them on the stone over here, but you can just tell the speed difference. So I'm gonna just activate Drill Crusher again to get this done quick. So this is going to give you a lot of ore really fast. So you're going to want to keep rinsing and repeating this. It's kind of you're going to be stuck behind ore production. So the other thing you can do is kind of how I have multiple of those set up. You can set up, I think, how many do I have? Like 5 of these guys? 4 of them, including my own. So if I wanted to, I could do another smelter, basically take him and have them all smelting. They are relatively slow, so I would recommend starting to upgrade some of these Van Worms to some better smelters or some better, what is that? Sorry, I can't think of the skill now. Kindling. So if you can upgrade them to at least like 2 or 3 kindling, they will go. It's significantly faster. You can also get this upgrade to this flame cauldron, which will help a lot, especially if you're going to be smelting this much. And then later on, you are going to get an improved furnace. So one trick you can do is if you really, really, really need those flame... Oops, where did they go? Oh, right here. So if you need those flame organs, you can take Flambell and put them in here in your... let's see. Yeah, I'll just replace one of those Van Worms. You can put them in your roster. And if they're not working, see how they're just going to go to grazing? So they'll just go graze for you, and they're going to get you some of those flame organs. You can always just buy them from the trader. I think they're relatively cheap, so you could just come over here to Small Settlement and buy them from the trader as well. So it's kind of however you want to do it, but that's basically the basics. You really don't need a whole lot of craziness to set this up. Once you set it up, it's pretty much well automated. As I said, though, I would recommend you sit in a bed. Also, my other recommendation is make sure that you're constantly producing food. I had it where I ran out of food at this base, and it was glitched basically, and all hell broke loose. So it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. Everybody was starving. Like I had like like 5 or 6 pals like just completely dead. So if you do AFK, just make sure that things are being produced. Don't replace pals without making sure everything has coverage. So that's kind of basically it for this. This is one of my favorite base locations, and I'd highly recommend if you guys are looking for the best ore mining place in the game. I would say this is it. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.
One eternity later.